UFC 3, EA introduced a mechanic that nerfed fighters with a long reach. Now, this nerf did not just affect damage, it also affected execution frames. In their blog, they wrote, "The longer reach fighter has a bigger range for their strikes as compared to that of the shorter reach fighter. In order to balance this out, we have made the range requirements to hit maximum damage much stricter for the long reach fighter than the shorter reach fighter. This means that even though they can both achieve maximum damage, it is much more difficult to do so with a longer reach fighter. In addition, we added an execution frame penalty to the longer fighter to simulate the fact that their longer limbs take more time to reach their target. The hope is that this balances out tall fighters and short fighters, making them both equally competitive if used in the right way." Now, this mechanic is definitely still in UFC 5, which is why boxing only with Jon Jones is never advisable. In fact, it is the absolute worst way that you can use Jon Jones. So let's go do that. Yeah, so why not just take literally everything that makes Jon Jones, throw it out the window, and do the one thing that, the one thing that he doesn't actually do very well, which is boxing. Why not? Why not? The frame advantage or frame disadvantage, or frame penalty that was added to EA Sports UFC in UFC 3 is still in the game. And of course, this penalty essentially says if your fighter has a long reach, kind of like Jon Jones, there will be some frame disadvantages, especially on the inside if you try to box with him. There's also a damage penalty because of the long reach, and it's kind of a way to balance the fact that you're able to reach your opponent from a longer range than they can. So Jon Jones has definitely suffered from this all the way from UFC 3 all the way to UFC 5, and you'll notice it. If you try to box with Jon Jones on the inside, you'll definitely notice that. I mean, if you're going with someone like the guy I'm facing right now, Gustafsson, you will notice that he's gonna be faster than you. Just boxing with him is gonna feel smoother than trying to box with Jon Jones, but there are ways to make it work. All right, so my opponent right now is trying to land long-range kicks from the outside after I whiff my stationary combination. So knowing that, see what he's doing? Like he wants to, right there, exactly. He wants me to throw my stationary shot while I'm throwing. He wants to retreat, and then while I'm like locked into throw my stationary strike, he throws like a kick to the head or something. Body. Again, he tries to do it again. That is essentially his MO, to land in big shots. It's a very good technique, a very good tactic, because you can actually do a lot of damage vulnerability-wise when you do that. There we go. So, again. Woo-wee! Trying to only box with Jon is not easy, but this is these are some of the things I got to do right now to keep this game interesting. And I will say, I am keeping it interesting. I have found the way. While we wait for any news that EA decides to release on UFC 6, it has been a while, and we should be getting something soon, I hope. But even then, there we go. So you guys will notice that I'm using a lot of lateral moving shots, especially when I want to work the body now. It's kind of a way to hide the fact that I'm teeing off to the body, because I'm circling with it. You don't really, can't tell. Oh my God, he's actually teeing off to the body. There we go. There we go. Circle with it a little bit. Very good. Very good first round. Yeah, dude. I mean, this feels okay. It doesn't feel too bad. I mean, this is not my preferred way to use Jon. You guys already know this. If I'm using Jon Jones, I definitely want to use all of his weapons, his leg kicks for sure. Especially now that I've been throwing quite a few leg kicks. I want to use his side kicks. I want to use his turning kicks to the body. I want to use his front kicks, his head kicks, his axe kick, all of them. I want to use all of that, but, you know, when you challenge yourself to only try to box with him, there we go. You're kind of forced to use a lot more weapons that the game gives you access to, like the back steps that I'm using, the side steps, the lateral moving shots. See that back step right there? Yeah, like it becomes a game of footsies and timing as opposed to like straight up exchanging with the guy. If you try to exchange and you've got Jon Jones, that's where you run into serious problems. He's going to feel slow as shit. And if you try to throw too many combinations, he will feel very, very sluggish. So I'm like trying to play a timing game right here where I'm trying to hit him at the right time. There we go. There we go. Very good. Very, very good. Nope. Uh-huh. Boom, boom, boom. Circle with it. I don't know how many fights I'm going to be able to get, but if I can get at least 2, I will be very, very happy. Look at that. Enter the pocket with fakes. Circle with it. No, I will block counter you. If you're that... If you're that obvious with it, I will block counter you. There we go. Beautiful. That jab right hook, that jab hook combination, still there. It's one of the best combos you can throw in this game. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have the frame advantage, go for it. Like right here. Okay. And when you're using Jon and trying to box, and you notice your opponent has stumbled you, they've done something to like force your fighter to stumble. Stop. Go back to defense. Hold on. I'll be honest with you guys. Every single time I use Jon Jones, my opponent's right side of their face is always busted up like this. Always. And it's because of how many... There we go. There we go. There we go. And it's because of how many left hooks I throw. The left hook is actually one of Jon's best shots. If you go back and you watch Jon Jones, especially his early fights, even before he got into the UFC, he was actually putting people away, and his left hook has always been money. Always been money. We've seen him stumble some fighters, even in MMA, with his left hook. It's always brief. It's always very like a short, like, oh shoot, like, okay, you can pack a punch with that. But of course, we all know Jon Jones has never been like a brain-shattering power guy, you know? Can't have it all, you know what I mean? You can't be Jon Jones, have a long reach, have all this, and also have knockout power. That would have been just complete overkill, you know what I mean? So, he had to be nerfed in some ways. He had to be nerfed in some ways. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that first one. We're going to do, try to get at least one more fight if I can. So yeah, let's do it. Alrighty, boys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's try to keep the same thing going. We got Alex Pereira right here, who is refusing to touch gloves. I can already tell. Anytime my opponent like walks forward and just refuses to touch gloves and immediately wants to get going, something tells me they probably either just lost or they're mad about something. They're eager to fight. Like this guy right here, I can already tell he is eager to get things going.
Keep your hands up. Use your footwork now. It's okay.
Like I would put money on the fact that he probably lost his last one. He just came in way too hot. And now he's relaxing a little bit. Huh. All right, so most of his I can already tell the kind of player this is. I can already tell. He's going to knee me a lot. Probably going to start using knee elbows, maybe. There it is. He was about to knee. Oh, he's lining up that uppercut very well. That's okay. Yeah, he is lining up that uppercut counter very, very well. LTK sight. I don't know who this is. There we go. Circle with it. Nice. No. if you've watched up until this point, I want to ask you guys a question, and I really would like you to answer in the comments. It would help me a ton. So when you see a video from me and you don't click on it, like let's say when a video from me is recommended to you and you do not click on the video, I'm kind of curious what your reason for that is. All right. One, I want to know if it's just, you know, the video just from the title and thumbnail just tells you it's some UFC 5 shit, and you know, you're just kind of bored with UFC 5 right now, and just watching UFC 5 gameplay alone does not compel you to want to click. All right, so that's one. Two, you just don't fuck with me like you used to. That's a possibility. I know a lot of you guys don't really mess with me like you used to before, and that definitely motivates your desire to click on videos. I can understand. There we go, left hook. Let me know if that is one of the reasons why you don't click. And three, it has nothing to do with any of that. The title of the video and thumbnail, the idea itself just wasn't compelling, period. It has nothing to do with me or the fact that it's a UFC 5 video. It just wasn't compelling. And there's other compelling shit for you to watch. So just let me know. Uppercut. Beautiful. I got this man's number. Oh, shoot. I got his number besides that flying knee. I can already tell that he was going to knee me a lot just from the way he was fighting in the beginning. But he's being very sporadic with the flying knee. So I guess I got to just tell myself to take the knee to the body. Because it's better to take the knee to the body versus taking the knee to the head. And if I'm kind of confused on whether it's going to go to my body or whether it go to the head, then I need to make that distinction and just go, all right, I'm going to let it go to the body. So there we go. This lead uppercut's doing a number on him. Yeah, this dude loves the knee. He wants to keep working my body with the knees. And he's also working my legs very well. And I can't kick him back, so I can only box him up. I wonder if these guys realize I am only boxing. Ooh-wee. Almost likes these knees. There we go. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Like I'm just trying to get an idea. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get an idea of what I can help and what I can't help. Like if it's the two things that I cannot help is like, all right, I just don't fuck with you like I used to. You know, there's really not much I can do about that. And then look, it's just UFC 5. No matter what the idea is, if it's UFC 5, I'm just not interested as much. I can't do anything about that either. But if it's an idea thing, if it's a thumbnail thing, if it's a title thing, that I can fix. I can do something about that. You know what I mean? So one of the worst things is not knowing what you need to improve. And then you're kind of just like moving around in the dark. So if there's any time I want you guys to really leave a comment and just be honest with me. You ain't gotta sugarcoat anything. Just tell me the truth. You would be doing me a massive service. There we go. To the body. This is probably not the best video to do that in anyways, because a lot of you probably won't even watch this one. But just those of you that watched, just let me know. And I know, hey, got him. Very good. Very good. He quit out. All right. Yeah. So I know that, you know, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the way the lack of interest in UFC 5 right now, it's making a lot of people, I see it, making a lot of people like, you know, eager for UFC 6. But it's like, you know, it's going to come when it's going to come. But let's not start praying for a yearly release for these UFC games, because that's just a terrible idea. I think the 2-year release is the best case scenario. I mean, if we want to see, if we go to a yearly release, there's just not going to be there'll be zero changes between games. And I don't think that's what anybody wants. You know, the situation where like we get like a month of like hype and then it just fucking dies. And then the rest of the year, nobody cares about the game until next year, where there's hype because it's a new game. And then the hype lasts a month until everyone realizes it's the same shit. And then the hype dies. That's just a recipe for disaster. It's not sustainable whatsoever. If they can even take longer to release the games, right? Take longer to release the games, but every new iteration has more. I think that will be better. So if I had to like give EA some kind of, I would say definitely don't go to a yearly release. Absolutely do not do that. Take longer, but make sure that the longer you take and the more we're getting these newer games, that there's actually enough in there, enough new content. It's different enough to where, you know, people feel like the wait was worth it, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I haven't got to really talk to you guys like this in a moment because I've been trying to explore other types of content. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like on it. Please make sure you leave a comment and answer that question I asked you guys earlier. And I will see you boys later with a brand new one. As always, stay safe. Peace out. Have a good one.